The movie begins with Min, who is daydreaming about having $1,000,000 and being able to afford surgery for his mother, who is in the hospital. In reality, the doctor has given him an ultimatum. His mother needs a kidney transplant by tomorrow, and Min must deposit $10,000,000 at the hospital by then. Now, he starts worrying about where he'll get that much money in just one day. Min works at a supermarket. Whenever the food items there expire, he eats them himself, thinking it's better than throwing them away. The shop owner is always upset with Min because he comes to work wearing a suit, even though he's just a store attendant. Min has failed the civil service exam 8 times, but he hasn't given up. Now, to arrange the money, he gives up his rented room and takes back his deposit from the landlady. But it's only $8,000,000. That means he still needs to arrange $2,000,000 more. Actually, Min has donated his kidney to his mother. This shows how much his mother means to him. Then we are introduced to Inspector Choi, who is a gambling addict. One day, due to overconfidence, Choi loses $50,000,000 at a casino. But the real problem is that he had bet his service revolver, and he loses it. The casino owner, Max, tells him to bring the money and get his gun back. Choi is a man with a short temper. He gets angry at every little thing. Somehow, he manages to control his anger and goes to the police station. Just then, internal affairs officers arrive to investigate. They suspect Choi of drinking and gambling while on duty. He also keeps firing his gun without any reason while trying to apprehend criminals. The internal affairs officers want to take his gun, but it turns out the gun is pawned at a casino. So where can Choi get it from? Internal affairs gives him 1 day. Return the gun or say goodbye to your job. This makes Choi angry again. Meanwhile, Min, hoping to earn $2,000,000, arrives at Max's video parlor and tries his luck on a video machine. And what a surprise! For the first time, luck is on Min's side, and he wins $2,500,000. This means all his tension disappears instantly. But his problems aren't going to be solved that easily. A thug named Taco, from whom Min previously took a large loan that he hasn't repaid yet, is standing nearby. He not only takes the $2,500,000 from Min but also forces him to give up $8,000,000 from his house deposit. Frustrated, Min goes to his boss and asks for an advance. Instead of giving him $10,000,000, the owner fires him. Meanwhile, a frustrated Choi approaches Max at the casino, tells him about his problem, and asks for his gun. But Max refuses to help. Then we see Park, who is a corporator and is now running for counselor. His election symbol is a dog. He asks his assistant, Lee, about the illegal casinos in their area. Lee tells him there's only one, Max's casino. So, they call Max. Park starts by sweetly saying that he needs $50,000,000 from Max for the election. Max explains his problems, but Park makes it clear that if he wants to keep running a casino in his area, he'll have to pay a bribe. Park then warns him that he needs the $50,000,000 by tomorrow, no matter what. But instead of paying him, Max decides to kill Park. He calls his old friend Paul and gives him the contract to kill Park. He even tells Paul that he'll send a gun for the job. Paul is a complete jerk. It's not clear whether he has ever killed anyone, but his body language makes it seem like he's committed 200 murders. So, Max calls Taco and gives him a cigar box. Inside it, he has kept Choi's gun, the one he plans to use to kill Park. He tells Taco to go to Paul's house and deliver the box. Taco comes out of the casino and opens the box. When he sees cigars inside, he starts wondering why he even bothered coming himself just to deliver something so simple. So instead, he hands the cigar box to Coco, the courier boy, who is loading luggage into a nearby van. He asks him to deliver it. Coco is already stressed out because of his courier job, and today has already been a terrible day for him. Earlier, Min had narrowly escaped being hit by his van. Then, a woman refused to pay him even after he delivered a crab. Meanwhile, Max shares Paul Park's details. Paul, who is pretty useless, is preparing for an attack. Interestingly, Paul's neighbor turns out to be Min. Min comes home feeling depressed. He realizes he can't afford his mother's operation. Feeling completely defeated, Min tries to kill himself. But things don't go as planned. The rope breaks and stops him from doing it. Just then, the doorbell rings. People won't even let me die in peace, he thinks. Annoyed, Min opens the door and finds Coco standing outside. Coco asks Min to collect Paul's package since Paul isn't home. Even after Min refuses several times, Coco doesn't listen. Fed up, Min finally takes the package from him. After Coco leaves, Min opens the cigar box and finds a revolver hidden inside. He thinks it's better to just shoot himself. At the same time, Paul gets home and starts getting ready like he's going to some big event, not to commit a murder. He plays a video to hype himself up. Just then, Min puts the gun to his head and pulls the trigger. Hearing the gunshot, Paul thinks it's just some kind of sound effect from the video. But once again, things don't go Min's way. He misses. The gun going off scares him badly. He realizes that killing himself isn't as easy as he thought. He changes his mind. He decides to try something different. He thinks he can use the gun to make money. So, he leaves the house. Meanwhile, Choi understands that Max won't give him his gun without paying. But he can't figure out how he's going to get that much money. Then, as he looks at his medicine, he gets an idea. He steals a packet of cocaine that had been confiscated and stored in a police locker. After that, he goes to an air gun shop, buys a fake gun that looks like a real police weapon, and sets out on his mission. At the same time, Min takes the gun and goes straight to Max's casino, determined to rob it. But then Choi arrives. Seeing the inspector, Min quickly hides in the restroom. Choi then grabs a drug dealer, takes him to the restroom and beats him up. Then, he forces the drug dealer to call his boss and tell him he has some drugs to sell. Then, Choi runs into Min, who is hiding in the same restroom. Terrified, they both point their guns at each other. Choi mistakes Min for a small-time thug, lets him go, and leaves. Drenched in sweat, Min pulls the flush chain, and a secret door opens, leading directly to Max's office. Inside, Max is putting 50 million won into a safe when Min, with a handkerchief covering his face, barges in. Pointing a gun at Max, he orders him to put all the money from the safe into a golf bag. Terrified, Max puts the money into the bag and hands it over to Min. Min then leaves with the bag. Just then, Park's assistant, Lee, arrives at Max's place to collect the election campaign money. But Max can't give him the money because Min has already robbed him. Lee threatens to kill Max if he doesn't get the money by morning. At that moment, Taco arrives and tells Max that he sent the cigar box with the gun to Paul through a courier. Then Paul calls Max and says he still hasn't received the gun. So Max beats Taco and tells him to go and collect the cigar box himself and deliver it to Paul, because Max needs Park dead. Otherwise, he'll have to pay 50 million won. Taco then goes to the courier office to find the address of the courier boy, Coco. But by then, Coco has already quit his job out of frustration. Meanwhile, Min arrives home with a bag full of money. He asked for 10 million won, but ended up getting 50 million instead. Looks like destiny. Now, Paul sets out on a mission to kill Park without a gun. Just then, he smells cigar smoke in the stairwell. Paul quickly realizes that the delivery boy must have given the cigar box to his neighbor, Min. At the same time, Min is heading toward the main door to deposit the money at the hospital. But when he looks through the peephole, he sees Paul standing outside his door, trying to open it. Terrified, Min quickly hides the bag of money inside the house and climbs out the window onto the ledge. Paul then enters the house, and while searching for the cigar box, he comes across a golf bag. Inside it, he finds the money. Watching all of this from the window, Min feels like his life is falling apart. He doesn't want to lose that lucky money. In desperation, he throws a coin at Paul to distract him. But it doesn't work. Paul finds the cigar box. He then takes the gun with him and leaves. Taco, while searching for Coco's address, shows up at his house. After threatening Coco, he takes him to Min's house. They reach Min's house and ring the doorbell. Min looks through the peephole and sees Taco standing outside with the courier guy, the same Taco who extorted 10 million from him. Terrified, Min climbs out the window and hides on the ledge. Taco opens the door and walks in. He sees the cigar box, but there's no gun inside because Paul took it. Frustrated, Taco starts beating Coco. Coco soon falls unconscious. Just then, Taco notices a golf bag lying there. The $1 million inside immediately catches his attention. Min starts crying when he sees his hard-earned money in Taco's hands. Meanwhile, Coco slowly regains consciousness. He grabs a baseball bat and, without hesitation, hits Taco on the head, knocking him unconscious. He quickly picks up the bag and leaves. Min, heartbroken, runs after his car in a taxi. Coco then stops his car on a bridge. Depressed after killing a man, he decides to commit suicide by jumping off. Min follows him and tries to stop him. He knows that if Coco jumps into the water with the bag, the $1 million will be lost as well. So, he makes a deal with Coco. He says he will take the blame for Taco's murder in exchange for the bag. Since the murder happened in his room, the police won't suspect Coco. Coco agrees. But suddenly, a passing truck honks, startling him. He loses his balance and falls off the bridge into the water, with the bag. Meanwhile, Choi arrives under the bridge to meet a drug smuggler, who he lured with a large supply of drugs. Choi gives him a sample of the drug he stole from the police station. After seeing how pure the product is, the smuggler finalizes the deal and is about to pay Choi 10 million won up front. But then, he notices a police revolver in Choi's pocket. But it's fake. The smuggler immediately realizes that Choi isn't a drug dealer, he's a police officer. They pull out knives and charge at him. Choi points his fake gun at them, but quickly realizes he can't face them with it. He panics and begs them to leave, saying he won't harm them. The smugglers run away. Then Choi hears a sound coming from the water. He quickly pulls Coco out of the water and opens the bag hanging around his neck. As soon as he sees the money inside, he is shocked. He calls an ambulance, takes the bag, and leaves. At that moment, Min, who is out searching for Coco, sees Choi driving past. He is stunned when he notices the golf bag in Choi's car. He is frustrated because he can't get hold of the money. So, Min immediately starts chasing Choi's car. Choi takes the bag and goes straight to Max. He hands it to Max and says, "There's 50 million won in it. To settle things, give me my gun." Max is shocked to see Choi with his own bag. He tells Choi that he has already given the gun to someone else. He says he'll return it once the task is done. Just then, Choi gets a call from the control room. A man has been found seriously injured in an apartment. Choi immediately rushes to the location. Meanwhile, frustrated, Min breaks into the casino and starts causing trouble. The casino staff knock him out. Choi arrives at the location, which turns out to be Min's apartment. The injured man is Taco. He is quickly taken to the hospital. Choi then discovers that the room belongs to Min, the same place where Taco was found. When he sees Min's photo, he remembers seeing him earlier that morning in the casino restroom. That's when he realizes something shocking. The gun Min was holding at that time was actually Choi's own gun. Now, Choi realizes that his gun is in the hands of a lunatic. Meanwhile, Paul arrives at Counselor Park's bungalow to kill him. This time, he decides to stab Park instead. But since he's useless anyway, Paul misses his target. Min is handed over to Max. Max suspects that Min works for Choi, so he ties him up. Just then, Lee, Park's assistant, arrives. Max tells him that the money is ready, but it's wet, so he'll dry it overnight and bring it straight to the campaign site tomorrow morning. As soon as Lee leaves, Max starts getting worried. He wonders what Paul is doing and why he still hasn't killed Counselor Park. At the same time, just as Paul aims his gun at Park, his phone suddenly starts ringing. It's Max calling him. As soon as the phone rings, Park's dog becomes alert and runs after Paul. Paul somehow manages to escape by jumping over a wall. He makes it back to his apartment. But when he sees the police gathered outside, he thinks they're there for him. Then he gets another call from Max. Paul promises him that Park will be dead by tomorrow morning. Just then, Choi spots Paul. He tries to stop him, but Paul points a gun at him. Choi immediately realizes it's his gun. He's shocked to see his own weapon in a stranger's hand. Paul then grabs the fake gun from Choi's pocket and runs off with both guns. Furious, Choi goes straight to Max, who is busy drying the notes. He asks him, "Who did you sell my gun to?" Then he threatens Max, telling him to call Paul and get his gun back. But Paul's phone is unreachable. Meanwhile, internal affairs officers keep calling Choi and threatening him. Completely enraged, Choi starts trashing Max's office. The next morning, Park sets out for his election campaign. Lee tells him that Max will bring the money and come straight to the site. Max packs the money he dried overnight into a bag and leaves for the site. At the same time, Min, who had been unconscious in Max's office, regains consciousness and runs after him. Park pulls up a truck on the road and starts giving a speech to the people gathered there. Right then, Choi arrives as well. He finds out that Paul is about to kill Park with his gun, so he starts looking for him in the crowd. Just then, Max arrives, and Min comes right after him. Then Choi spots Paul in the crowd. Lee approaches Max to collect the money. At that exact moment, Paul pulls out a gun and shoots at Park. Park falls to the ground, and the gunshot causes panic in the crowd. However, Park is not hurt. Paul had accidentally fired a fake gun that he snatched from Choi, and it was loaded with ball bearings instead of bullets. Paul then climbs onto the truck and starts shooting at Park again. But the ball bearings don't hurt him. Paul then pulls out a real gun and is about to shoot Park, but Choi stops him. Taking advantage of the chaos, Min quickly steals a bag full of money from Max's car. But Max notices him. Choi immediately jumps into the campaign truck and starts chasing Min's car. A thrilling chase begins. Meanwhile, Paul asks Max, "Dude, if you wanted to commit murder, why did you send a fake gun?" At that moment, Park finds out Max's secret. Choi finally manages to stop Min's car and points a gun at him. Frustrated and with no way out, Min suddenly jumps off a bridge into the water. Luckily, a drug smuggler who is fishing on the shore pulls him out and saves him. After all this chaos, everyone ends up at the police station. Choi's assistant, Jimmy, looks at him and asks, "What was this politician, a fake killer, a thief, a casino owner, and all of you doing in the same place? What was this, some kind of circus?" Choi lies and says that he got a tip that someone was coming to kill Park, so he went there. Paul then says, "I only went there to scare Park with a fake gun, not to kill him." Jimmy then turns to Max and Park and asks, "The 50 million won in this bag, who does it belong to?" Park immediately raises his hands and says, "It's not mine." Max also doesn't want to get involved in any black money scandal, so he tells Jimmy that the money belongs to Min. Min takes the chance and tells Jimmy that he got the money by selling his kidney. He says he needed the money for his mother's operation. After hearing his story, Jimmy believes him, gives him the money, and lets everyone go without asking for proof. Even though Max's own money is right in front of him, he still can't do anything. Min goes to the hospital to deposit the money, but finds out that an NGO has already paid for the operation. His mother's operation is successful. Min is admitted to the hospital because of his injuries, along with Taco. He leaves the 50 million won in a hospital wardrobe, but still feels uneasy. Just as he's being taken for a checkup, Choi arrives and steals the golf bag. As he leaves, he hears bottles clinking inside the bag, so he opens it. Inside, he finds a medicine bottle. Min had cleverly hidden the money somewhere else. Choi angrily runs after Min. Meanwhile, Coco, who is also in the same hospital, mistakes that bag for the money and picks it up, but he gets fooled too. Min manages to outsmart Choi and escape the hospital, but his fate is sealed. He falls into an open sewage gutter along with the 50 million won. And what happens to him inside is known only to the movie's director. And that's where the movie ends. If you enjoyed the movie, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with more amazing movies like this. Until then, take care, goodbye, and thanks for watching.